Hey, Texas History. So, we're going to do an overview of what we are doing for our project. So, you are going to investigate a cold case from history. History is full of cases where we don't quite know what happened. So, your task is located right here. It says, History is filled with unsolved mysteries. Your task in this research project is to choose one of those mysteries and present a plausible theory to explain it. You will research a variety of primary and secondary sources to uncover possible theories and the clues that support them. After you conclude your research, you will create a case file that includes background on the mystery, the most plausible theory, and a collection of annotated evidence that backs up that theory. We'll talk a bit more about each step in detail. Let's start off with step number 1. Step 1 is choose your cold case. You can click on these links that will take you to a short YouTube video to give you an idea of what the case is all about. Try not to watch the entire thing. Some of these are a little bit longer, and I chose certain sections so that you could get right to what the actual mystery is. Step number 2, make sure to turn your cold case into a question. So, what do you want to know specifically? You might try to ask a few questions. And on here, I'm actually going to include a document that will give you some help informing your questions. So look out for a link on here that will help you to make your questions. You might ask a question such as for the Great Chicago Fire, such as was there actually an old Mrs. Leary? Did she have a cow? Okay, so you'll learn about the Great Chicago Fire. That is the common idea is that Mrs. Leary's cow knocked over a lantern, and that's what started the fire. But what if she didn't even exist, or what if the cow didn't exist? What if she had another animal like a dog? So there's all sorts of questions you can ask on this, and don't be afraid to ask more than one. All right, our third step is right here. So, step number 3 is to visit the research links page that is located on the History Detectives website. This will help to start your research. After looking through a few of the secondary sources, write down at least 2 competing theories. Competing means that they are 2 different theories about the cold case. You may choose to return to this step and add more theories if you turn up something compelling later in your research. So, write down at least 2 theories. All right, and then finally, well, not finally, sorry. Let's look at number 4 real quick. Number 4 is to use the Your Investigation One Clue at a Time graphic organizer to take notes. Your research should include a mix of primary and secondary sources. So you need to have at least one primary and one secondary, but probably more like 2 and 2. Remember that these historical events they're mysteries for a reason. Sometimes the sources will give you contradictions, meaning that they aren't going to say exactly the same thing. Take notes of the discrepancies, take notes of the things that are different, and base your conclusions on what you consider to be the most credible sources. Okay, now watch the next video and we'll go over step 5 and 6.